that actually changed a lot of the way that I think. That may be the way most people think, but I found that it's just so much better if I think about it that way. And maybe that's why I'm talking about it a lot.
Same, Jose. Let me tell you something, is that ever since I started teaching in 2009, first, I wanted to be an interpreter. So I talked about this at the Ikigai podcast. I wanted to do something else, like nothing related to teaching. And my first teaching experience, through that experience, starting from that moment, I knew that I wanted to be a teacher. I felt kind of a feeling of gratitude, the feeling of gratitude that students express every time that I help them achieve a better version of themselves. For example, I had students, they did not speak English in their native country. They're let's say their mother tongue is not English. Their first language is not English. So, and I help those students transitioning from knowing nothing about English until they write things, until they deal with business communication, until they work in an English-speaking environment. So at that particular time, I felt that I was bringing an impact into people's lives. And I have chosen teaching like to help others. And then after having my master's degree, so I said, shall I pursue research or shall I teach? So I said, no, teaching is the thing that I was born to do. So I started teaching from that moment until now. I thought about career shift during the COVID period.
Mm-hmm.
So I took some coaching training, and I wanted to kind of blend coaching to teaching. But to talk about the lesson planning, and now I take more of that into consideration. So I always had, let's say, the feeling, the heartfelt thoughts to implement that into teaching. With the CELTA, I learned more how to do that. It's like how to set the setting, how to pre-teach vocab, how to kind of put myself in a situation where I speak less and I let my students speak more. So a lot of things were revamped and refined with CELTA. And starting from that moment, as you said, it's like more about them, not me at all. So we do share this thing in common as well. And so apart from, this is the next question, Jose, apart from Japan, Jose, are you part of global networks, like where you interact with teachers globally, or is it just, are you just active within locally, let's say Japan, where you live?
I am active in Japan, I gotta say. That came as the result of the things that I did through the pandemic. And remarkably, I think I have actually, national attention, at least within the ELT community. People seem to know my name. People still go, "Oh, you're Jose Cruz." And I go, "Really? Who are you?" But as a result out of that, especially, I was pretty much in the front row of the event of the JELT 2020 conference. I made connections in Korea. And in Korea, I've made a few friends and made a couple of presentations there. And I have just received the news today that I will be giving a plenary at the Kotisal National Conference in November. And it will be on my teaching method. I have a unique teaching method that
the verbal classrooms.
That's it. That's right. Verbal classrooms. Now, as it's interesting that you should ask this. I have recently come into contact with oh my gosh, what's his last name? Giovanni Rotura. He's an Italian.
From Cambridge?
No, he's with a company called Edu Gallery, but he gets around in Europe, and I think he's done a couple of his conferences in North Africa. So maybe you've heard of him. But he heard about me through my girlfriend, and my girlfriend is going to be giving a presentation for him. And then he started talking to me. I started telling him about what I do here, and he goes, "Oh my God, I want to work with you." And I go, "Sure, yeah, no problem." And he has a whole bunch of conference events that take place mostly in Europe. And it has a fairly close following of people who enjoy the social aspect of it, plus the practical, the applied linguistic aspects of it, the practical learning aspects of it, and as well as to sit down with people like Dorothy Zemak and Scott Thornbury and David Crystal and Barbara Sakamoto at these conferences. And at the same time, just basically jaunt through Europe every 6 months or so. And Giovanni wanted to ask me if I'd be interested in actually working with him to see if we could do something in Japan. So I'm seeing right now, maybe not only might I be doing some presentations for him, I'm actually going to do a presentation for him in December. And another one in March. Yeah, another one in March. But maybe with luck, I'll be hopefully helping to organize the conference in August in Japan. But yeah, I do get around internationally now. Not as much as I ever thought I would, but yeah, I guess I am.
I noticed this, and actually I've shared our podcast, the Ikigai One. There was a teacher who requested, she's well known in podcasting as well. She requested like for whoever recorded the longest, what is the longest podcast you ever recorded? So I recommended ours, the one that we recorded with the Ikigai podcast. It was among the longest ones. And what else? And you deserve to be known, Jose, around the world, and you'll be contacted soon. You will see whoever gets in touch with me, Jose, you'll be contacted soon by maybe from Africa, maybe from other parts of the world. Yeah.
Okay, so okay, thank you very much. You had podcasters ask you, what podcast would you recommend because of length?
The length, the content, and let's say the relevance. So I shared ours. So I just went through, I wanted to share ours, your podcast, your episode, but while scrolling into my YouTube account. So I just kind of made sure to see what is the longest podcast. I found out that our episode was the longest one. Thanks to you. So I shared it. It was shared part of an international conference held in Europe, in some part of the world. So you might get more invites in the future. Get your suitcase ready.
What? You shared our podcast into a conference?
Yes, so it's like kind of an event. It's a group devoted for that conference, and part of the comments. So I just commented with our video, and everyone started to comment and interact with the link, with the video. And yes, and you'll be contacted. I know you're already known in your area and where you're active nationally, but expect to be contacted, maybe even in Africa. So.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you.
You don't need me to do that. You're well known.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, more than welcome. But I know that you are well known in your community, and you deserve to be known internationally, speaking in more than the local sphere, let's say. So are you interested in presenting in Africa? No? North
I
Africa?
would love to, if somebody wants to pay for my ticket. Yeah. or if it's
online. Yeah. Online, if it's
yeah, I was about to say, but if it's an online conference, then yeah, sure, no problem. I'd be honored. If somebody actually saw what I did somewhere else and said, wow, we want you to bring that to Africa, yeah, my gosh, that would be an incredible honor.
Yeah, I'll share with you some interesting links, and feel free to join, to interact, to submit a proposal, anything you want to do, like part of that. So and so I believe that in being a universal teacher, I don't belong to, I'm Tunisian. Yeah, I live here, born and raised here.
Yep.
But I do believe in the human aspect. So just like you were so kind and friendly from the beginning, you didn't even know me. I said, I have a podcast, and I'm just looking for people, who know what to talk about, something called Ikigai. It's in Japanese, and I'm looking for someone either who lives in Japan or knows something about Japan. Who can volunteer for this? And here are you. It's
Yeah,
like,
here it was.
yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Because I'm so lazy. No,
No, you're
I'm just
not.
kidding. I'm just
You
kidding. No,
see?
it's always fun to meet people. And actually, that was the first thing that I thought, wow, this woman, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a woman. I can't really tell. I don't really know much about Tunisian names, but I thought there's a woman, and probably it'll be fun to talk to somebody from that part of the world, get new perspectives on things, and just the opportunity to share information and to meet new people was something that I really couldn't pass up. That, and I like the whole idea of being interviewed for a podcast. That's fun. This is fun for me.
And thank you so much, Jose.
Mm.
Thanks for every time being really here, present in here and now, in the moment, for
Sure.
being supportive. Yes, for always caring. You know, you asked me a question. What should I prepare for the podcast? Nothing. Just bring your good vibes and just be here. Okay, so
Well, thank you.
yes.
That was you know, I wish we could talk for a little longer, but that's always fun to talk to you, Yosura.
Thank you
It's always a good
so
experience.
much. Thank you
No,
so
not at
much.
all. I want to
have
talk to you after we say goodbye. I want to talk to you about that conference that you showed the podcast in. But thank you
All
very
right.
much for the opportunity.
All right, I'll tell you exactly. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much. So just for whoever is watching the KaiZen podcast, I'm not going to say the Ikigai podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for following us, for listening to us. If you've reached this level of the episode and you're listening to us, I know that the attention span is no longer than 1-2 minutes online, but if you just reached this level, thank you so much for making
Thank
it.
you.
You survived. Thank you so much. And what else? Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I don't usually say this, but I'm going to say it for the KaiZen podcast so that this podcast can be viewed all over the world, so that whoever needs to listen to this will be listening to it. Thank you so much, Jose. And that will be the end of the fourth episode. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth episode would be okay.
Okay. Okay.
Podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.